Um, and so if do you have to get like different certifications if you're hauling different things, maybe like a hazardous
Oh
versus
yeah,
like
absolutely. So if you're gonna haul petroleum or chemicals and stuff like that, you do have to have your hazardous endorsement. Uh, that is a must, and those are a different set of rules that you have to follow, and they're pretty strict rules. So within the trucking industry, there are different types of things you could get into. It could be hauling milk, hauling stuff for agriculture, cement, frozen products, flatbeds. So there are different types of things you could get into, hauling petroleum, um, just a lot of different things you could do. And a lot of these things do require, different endorsements on your license. Hauling tankers, you need a tanker's endorsement. Hauling doubles, triples, you need a triples endorsement. And all these things are kind of beneficial, so you could kind of move around to different types of areas in the industry. And if you have all these endorsements, it does help you out where you could either get a better job or increase the money you want to make. And also too, it helps too to not set yourself up where, like right now, a lot of new truck drivers, they're just getting one endorsement, and also they just want to drive automatic trucks. It's good to have both, that you know how to drive a manual truck and a automatic truck, because there's a lot of companies that do use manually driven trucks where you have to know how to use all the gears. And
how many gears do you guys go through?
Oh, you could go from 10, 13, 18.
Oh wow,
So yeah.
that's pretty cool. I mean, to me, like big trucks always seem pretty cool to me. Um, how is what's a typical drive like?
As far as what though, like distance or
Yeah, yeah.
I mean typical, I mean if you're gonna stay within your local state, let's say for me it's California. I mean a typical day could, in the state of California, you're allowed to drive or to work up to 16 hours, drive 14 and be off on 2 hours off duty, but you have to be off after you're done with your 16-hour shift. You have to be off 10 hours. But
You could drive
federally,
14 straight?
not straight, you have to take your breaks, obviously.
Okay.
But federally, everyone, you could drive um 14 hours and be off. You have to have a 2-hour break between that 14 hours. And then after those 14-hour shifts, you have to be off 10 hours. But typically, a typical drive for a truck driver, I mean, you're running about, 250 to almost 500 miles a day.
Wow.
Yeah.
I can see. So is what would cause somebody other than the obvious like staying local for family reasons, right? But what do you get the choice? I just want to be a local driver versus I want to drive cross country.
Yeah, one big thing that a lot of new truck drivers don't understand is that you have to have experience. A lot of companies, they are hesitant to hire new drivers. Um, because of the experience they want, at least a driver that's been driving at least for a year, 2 years, and those are the ones that could get the better jobs. At the very beginning, yeah, you could get into these big companies, but you're going to be farther away. And if you want to be closer, a lot of truck drivers want to be closer, and those are the type of jobs that are harder to get. But once you put in the time and the experience, you're able to get these better paying jobs and more local jobs. So, it's a lot of things that, unless you could do what I did at the very beginning, as straight out of trucking school, I bought my own truck, and I went straight into being an owner operator. And that has its other things too, where you have to know about insurance, you have to know, good brokers, you have to know a lot of different things.
Yeah, that makes it. I would say think that makes it hard too because aren't you're responsible for all the maintenance on that now,
Yes,
right?
yes.
And so that's if you don't know what you're doing, I can see that being a problem.
Yeah.
So it's a trade-off, just